Welcome to History Adventuring. This is episode number 475. I'm Brad Hall, and today I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts in 1962 in Phoenix, Arizona. It was a particularly beautiful morning today, and I decided to go for a ride with no particular place to go. I stopped for a coffee at Thunderbird Road and 83rd Avenue in Peoria, and since the Burger King was closed for remodeling, I went to the Dunkin' Donuts across the street. And as is typical of most of the places in Phoenix that have outdoor seating, even on a gorgeous day with temperatures in the 70s, most people were sitting inside. I suppose the people in there, if they noticed me, knew that I hadn't lived in Phoenix all of my life. I spent about a decade in Southern California, where I developed a taste for al fresco dining, and I sit outside every chance I get. So I had the outside all to myself, and as I sipped my coffee, the music blared into my ear, stopping every once in a while to do a commercial, which repeated so many times in the short period that I was there, it was really the main reason that I left. I heard over and over that Dunkin' Donuts began in 1950, and of course that got me to thinking about whether I had a vintage picture of it in my collection, which I do. It's the one on McDowell and 14th Street in 1962. And I know that it was 1962 because there's a sign that says that across the street. It looks like it was the Christmas season, too. As I look at the picture and step into it, I'm surprised by the term coffee bar. You don't see that term used anymore. But I'm not surprised by that thing below the sign. It's a telephone. I'm old enough to remember that was the only way that you could make a phone call when you were out and about. Cost a dime. I suppose back then, if you went in there and asked for a coffee, they would hand it to you. Today, the cashier took my money and just smiled at me, assuming that I knew that I was supposed to go pick it up on the other side of the room. These places get very crowded, and I understand that that's the most efficient way to keep everything moving. I waited patiently for my coffee and had to confirm with the person who had poured it was just what I ordered. I couldn't help but think how ridiculous that would have been in 1962, when I would have just sat at a counter and someone would walk over and put coffee in front of me. I'm kind of thinking that I'd be called Hun, but maybe not. I suppose in 1962, Dunkin' Donuts would have been considered fancy and flashy as compared to the little mom-and-pop coffee shops. It was a chain restaurant, and chains, like McDonald's, were catching on. The 1962 picture looks quaint to us now, but I'm sure that when it was brand new, a lot of old-timers wouldn't even think of going to a place like that. They would stick with the coffee shops that had been there since before 1950. This has been History Adventuring. I'll talk to you later.